Hello, hello. I believe we are live and in full color. Welcome, everybody. I hope you're doing good. I had to check something real fast. I couldn't remember where all my sewing themed rubber stamps was located. I was like, where are those? And I forgot that these were still in binder. So I need to move them over to my other system that I have. Maybe I'll get that done someday. That'll be another unfinished project, right? Hey, Julie, welcome, welcome. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do today over the weekend, going through a few things. And so as I was digging through some of my drawers that I have behind me, I had one label that said Sew Artsy. So back in 2019 is when I had a kit that I made with Norella. She used my stencil designs and some gel prints and then some other images to make the Sew Artsy kit. And this particular journal that I have in my hand, at the beginning when we started doing this kit, I would have these bound together. And then after talking to everybody, hey Shawnee, that they decided that they would rather these not be bound together because we would want to take them apart. So originally these were all stapled. So I've just got a staple puller here. And I'm going to pull out the staples and throw the staple away so I don't accidentally stab myself. I had a couple of these left over. I'm not going to mess with this one right now, so I'm just going to set it aside. And then I was going through the pages I had. Some of them were printed by me. Some of them were printed by the place that printed my kit for me. And I also got out some of my, I guess I call them my scrappy papers, mixed media papers, Franken pages, where I had pasted them onto another sheet of paper and then stitched around them. And then I have some mop-up papers. So this kit was all about sewing and using bright, beautiful colors. These were the pages that came with this little journal cover. I don't know if we are going to make an additional cover, maybe a bigger cover. I could also cut this apart. I don't know yet. So I thought to start with, I would go ahead and make some pages. Back in 2019, this was one of the pages that I made using rubber stamped images. I used the chipboard. I had laser chipboard pieces that I made back in 2019, and I had a few other after that as well. And then I used some scrapbook paper as well. Here's a page that was all mixed media papers. It doesn't look like, okay, there's a pocket here. This is a McCall pattern that I had, and it looks like I have a few more pattern pieces here that maybe we could use. I'm going to go ahead and open these up and see what they look like. So I got two little pieces here, and then here is a bigger piece. This is rather fragile paper, so to use it as a page isn't really ideal, so it'd be better to paste it to something else. Looks like I have a couple of some oversized journal cards. These are probably from Seven Gypsies, and then I've got some cardstock ones. What else is here? These are pages that were part of the kit, and they are all one-sided. So let's see how many we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, that's a printed piece of cardstock, 17. You know what I could do is we could do both journals, and on the back sides of all of these I could add elements. Let me see if there's one of these that I like to use for either adding a collage on the front of one of these pages, or I don't know. Let's see if there's something that calls to me. Okay, now these two would be good because I could use just one piece and make a cover piece with this piece and then a cover piece with that one. So I'm going to set this aside, as that's going to be the elements I use on the cover. What do I have here? I think this is the same piece. Okay, good. All right. And then I have a few mixed media papers that just happen to be in the same package with these other papers. So I typically like to have 10 pages in my journal. I'm going to set this over here out of the way, and we'll make the covers last. Okay, so I've got these pages. I've got some mixed media pages. I've got some mop-up papers, and I have some of the Franken pages. I also have a little basket, a container with some fussy cut items in there that were from the kit, and stamps and that kind of stuff. Yeah, how time sure does fly, doesn't it? It's crazy. All right, so let's start with, let's just grab 1, 2. So I'm going to grab 2 of these. I'm going to set this over here on the side. So I've got these 2, and I'm going to look through my mixed media papers, and maybe what we'll do is pick 2 of these that could go on the back side. These are all purples. These are all pinks and bright colors. I think I like this one, just for variety. Okay, so I think I'm going to pull out 2 of each, and then put these back in here and set it over to the side for now. And I think the simplest thing to do right off the bat is I want to glue these on the other side. These were pages out of a manual, and so I'm just going to take this page and glue it to the other side, and then we can embellish this page with some of the Sew Artsy items. Well, what has everybody been doing? Did you have a good week? Tell me what's been going on for you. I'm trying to think. Last week, I worked around the house a little bit. I am in the process of making some doggy collar embellishments for the groomer who grooms Dante. I made a bunch of bow ties a couple weeks ago and gave those to her, and I asked her what else she wanted made, and she said she wanted some girly items like flowers. And so I've been working on some prototypes for that, and then I ordered some flower components off the internet, off of, where did I get them? Amazon. And those should arrive in a few days, so I'm going to try to make some frilly floral color embellishments. I think like this is the bow ties that I made, and it has elastic on the back. I'll use my bone folder so you can kind of see. So this will fit on a dog's collar so it doesn't tilt, it stays upright. So she really liked those, so I want to make some more for her. Inundated with the 2 sisterhood of the traveling journal groups you're a part of. Oh my goodness. They keeping you busy? Are y'all exchanging or having a traveling journal going around, or is it just being part of the group? You've been nursing a sore back? Well, I'm sorry that you're having that. Henry was saying the other day that his back was bothering him. All right, so for right now, I'm going to let that dry for a moment. And we'll glue this one as well. I pulled a few weeds out in the yard. That's always every day. You go outside and you pull weeds. What else did we do? Oh, we went to a local park that's really quite lovely. It has little paved walking paths and all kinds of flowers and trees to look at. And there's so many birds, lots of birds. So we went and walked that. I think that was Saturday when we did that. And then we have dinner with Henry's parents on Tuesday night. So we always take Dante when we go to their house. They tolerate Dante. So he's still learning that he can't push his limits too much. It doesn't take much for it to play up these days. I can imagine, Julie. It's terrible. Oh, they're probably got things going on, Julie. But then one thing it's another, it seems like. Okay, so we've got these two that I've added some pretty papers. It looks like the edges are showing through just a little bit. Let me get some distress inks and just kind of cover that. I could trim it, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and go around the edge. I think there's shrinkage whenever I sew the papers onto a piece of paper, or the paper that I used may have been smaller to begin with than standard 8.5 by 11. Okay, so we got these two pages, and I happen to have a little piece of this cardstock that we could cut and make a couple of pockets so it kind of ties in the Sew Artsy. So I'm going to trim this down. Jennifer! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just want to cut this down. Alright, so now I've got this piece. And I want to trim it to be 5 1/4. So I'm going to kind of come this way and trim that off. And it looks like I could get a couple out of here. So there's 6 inches. I don't know, 3 inch. 3 inch would be a good. So we'll get 2 even pieces out of that. That'll work. Now, let's add some distress inks. And since I have been sewing on all the papers, and it is a sewing journal, I think I should go ahead and sew around the edges of these 2 pieces. So 2 things. We're going to get out the sewing lamb, and then I'm going to get a piece of paper to make a gusseted pocket. So we'll just come in here and looks like I need to clean up the edges of this book again. That way the pages tear out easily. And usually I just kind of take a craft knife and cut that off. Oh. Gotta move some stuff around. Okay. Alrighty, so I'm going to glue these to where I have a little bit of excess on either side. And then I'll stitch it down. So I'm just going to put glue in the middle. And just right on the very, very edge. And then put this down. And smooth that out. I'm going to flip this around. And do the same thing over here. Oh no. Jennifer, you should have asked me before you switched. Everybody I know that was a diehard Android that switched to iPhone switched back. So I hope it isn't the case for you, because it is such a nightmare to have to do that. But I know I will never switch. And welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so I'm going to trim these apart, and then we'll go over to the sewing machine. I want to stitch around the edges. I'm just trimming off the excess book page. And I'll trim this side as well. And trim this one as well. Also gives it a chance for the glue to dry a little bit. You'll never switch either. Yeah, that's everybody I've ever talked to is like, don't switch. You'll regret it. Let's go to the sewing. All right, I've got a black thread in my sewing machine with a regular needle. I've set it up with a zigzag stitch, and I'm just going to stitch around the perimeter. You do want to make sure that your glue is dry before you stitch. I'm probably pushing my luck because this was a little damp, but I hardly use a lot of glue. I'm trying to be very sparing with my glue usage so that it dries faster. I like the smaller glue nozzle that's on that bottle. I think a lot of the Aleene's Tacky Glue now, you can get the smaller bottle with the easy, what is it called? Easy or always ready, easy ready or something like that. Originally, I got that off of the Easy Squeeze bottle because they weren't putting it on the smaller bottles. It's funny, you talk about switching from Android to the iPhone. We used to have the, what was it, Nokia cell phones. You know, of course, back then, they weren't smartphones. They were just cell phones. They did a cell phone. You call people on them. They didn't have the camera and everything. We could text on them. We started texting on them. But it didn't have all of the internet capabilities. And then when the Motorola had the Motorola flip phone Razr, the Razr phone, I had that one. And then I went to the Motorola, I think they called it the Droid. And one of the phones I had the flip-up keyboard. So you'd have the phone, you hold it this way with your screen, and then you would push it, and down below the keyboard. And that was probably my favorite phone. And then when they went to the phones where you had to have a full screen, and then the keyboard would pop up, that took a little bit to get used to. You know, the whole gamut of going through there. You don't care about watches? Well, since I had my first watch, which was a, what was that? It was the Gear, or was it was a Samsung watch, but it was mainly designed for fitness or steps, keeping track of all of that. And I used it for a long time, and then I ended up getting the fancier watch like I have on right now, and really liked it, and I sold my other watch. And then my watch broke, and so we bought a new watch for me, actually a refurbished watch. And I wore that for years and years and years. And then I finally broke it this last year. It fell and cracked the housing on it, so it shorted out. That was not a pretty sight. I was not happy about that. And I was able to buy a refurbished watch off of Amazon for a really fair price. I think it was around $60. And these watches normally sell for $300 and something. $400 in some cases. Okay, I like that. And I'm so used to having the watch now, I don't know if I can go back to not having the smartwatch. The Motorola, yeah, I've always loved the Motorola products. Okay, so I've got these two. So we're just going to play this off that I'm going to make two journals. And so I'm going to work on these kind of side by side. So I'm thinking that that can go here. And I'll do the same. Make sure I've got it right side up. Okay. I'll do the same. Put this one over here. And then I've got some embellishments over here to the side. So we'll grab some of those. All right. Mixed media paper. So I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac Beacon glue to glue the pocket down. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Set this up so I can do the other one in just a moment. All right, I'm trying to make sure because my paper doesn't look, I can't really see the fold because of the pattern of the paper. So I'm making sure that I don't get it into the fold. Okay, there's that side. Let's do this one. You think the Motorola's were heavy? I guess I don't know. I mean, they were the first that I had as far as a smartphone is concerned. And then the Samsung came onto the market. And I think at that time, we just had a really good offer to switch. I think I had the Samsung Note 4. I don't remember. I had a Note for the longest time. Had the little stylus with it. I hardly ever used the stylus. But it had it. So if you wanted to, you could. Your first one was heavy? Yeah. Now we had, Henry used to have the car mounted phone for the longest time. You know, it was a station that mounted in the car. And then he had what we call the brick. It was the size of like a brick that you would put on your house. It was really big and had a long, hard antenna. And I don't remember if he had the bag phone before that, because that was the first mobile, was that big old giant phone. You were a sales rep for AT&T, so you're a phone snob? How funny. Okay, so we got these two pocket pieces. I'm going to look through my little goodies here. Trying to see I'm trying to filter out the little pieces from the big pieces. Okay. Let's see what's in here that we can use. I've got, that kind of blends in. That could be its own pocket. I've got a pair of scissors. We could put the scissors on here. I did stamp a couple of flowers. So what if we maybe did something like that? Made a little kind of a collage. Something like that. And I have these sentiments, but maybe we'll use them on the other side of the page. Okay, I think I've got a couple of things to glue down. So put these back in here. Set that aside. All right, let's glue these down. Okay. Yeah, they have so many options now for cell phones. Depends on the carrier that you use. We were the original, what was it? Cellular One. I think that was the original that we were with. And then it changed names to something weird for the longest time. Then it was Bell South, maybe, and then it was AT&T, and then it became Verizon because they sold, because they were, we're worried about the monopoly that AT&T has, so they had to sell their cell phone companies that they had purchased. And then now we're back with AT&T. It's crazy, all the years, right? All these youngins, they don't know what it was like to not have a cell phone all the time. Okay, I like that. Just kind of giving a little decoration. Let's do this side. Has it been raining? Well, that's good, because then it won't be so hot, right? Of course, then when it stops, it's going to be so humid. I don't know what your humidity is like in Australia, Julie, but it can be brutal here. We had a really nice rainy day yesterday. It was just not crazy stormy or anything. Now, we did have some hail on, was that Friday? Saturday? Friday. I think it was Friday, because I had just gotten home and put my car in the garage, thankfully. And then shortly after that, the storm hit. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. All right, I'm going to put this one right here. Okay, I'm just kind of adding some embellishments. I'm going to go ahead and use the beacon glue to add the sentiment. Now, should I place something here as a pocket or writing space on the page? Y'all can let me know while I glue these pieces down. I have a feeling this could become two-parter. Your whole yard flooded from that one? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know you're kind of up high, aren't you? Cool temperatures now. Well, that's good. Okay. I don't have cards to put in these. That was one thing I thought was kind of odd. Of all of the pieces that I had, I didn't have a lot of journal cards that went with this. So let's grab some blank cards and maybe we'll make something to go in here. Do I want to just use standard ivory and off-white and white and craft colored? Maybe. I've got these two, so let's start there. What else do I have? I have some white, so that could be here. That's not cardstock. I think I'm going to cut up a bigger piece. Let me look here. I don't know if these envelopes will fit, but I was just thinking that I could put an envelope here. Okay, I think that would look good. All right, I've got a bunch of these envelopes, so I'm going to use one in each page. What else do I have in here? I have a bright pink piece of card. Let's use that. All right, let's put this back. Heading towards winter. Okay, so I've got a couple of cards that I pulled out. My thought was it'd be kind of pretty to have the layers, but I think we're going to need to add something to these. So I'm going to get out a couple of pieces of paper here. All right, so here's the top of the envelope. Let's turn it this way and this way. So let's look at some of the sewing. We could stamp this on one side. What else do I have in here? And I have this saying, it says cute as a button. So if we put the button here and then the sentiment over here, I think that's what we'll do. All right. You don't always have a lot of ephemera for what you're making, but you can make your own. Oh yeah, I think I like that. I just re-inked my ink pad, so it should have a nice juicy pad. Stamp this off. Do it again. It's still very juicy. Put this back in my book. And then let's do the button. I need it on a smaller one. Here we go. Okay. Put that in here. And then we have cute as a button. There we go. Put that away, close that. I don't know if I want to put some distress ink on there. I kind of like that bright purple. Let's put those in here like this. Okay. I got these two cards. And what do we want to put on those? I think I dropped something. Where'd it go? Oh no, I lost the tiny little rubber stamp. The little button. I don't see it. Well, I'm not going to spend the time to look for it today. I'll have to look for it after the live stream. That makes me sad. I guess I didn't get it stuck down all the way. So when I move the... See, that one popped off too. Stay on there. Okay. I've got this little shoe with the pin cushion. That would be kind of cute stamped in the corner. Let's do that. Okay. I heard it fall, but I don't see it. It's going to be one of those things where I need to sit down on the floor. What's the little thing on the left of my mat? There's some paper, but not the stamp. Because there's a pen. This is a piece of paper. My mat, there's a hole in the mat where it hangs. I should really shift this over, but okay. We're going to put one here. I'm trying to see how this... Okay, so it's going uphill just a little bit. I think that looks better. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I hate it when I drop stuff because this is like a black hole. When something drops on the floor in here, I can never find it, seems like. So I'm going to have to tear apart because I've got some things under my desk that I put my feet on. And so sometimes it falls on top of it. Sometimes it falls behind it. You never know what's going to happen. Okay, so now we got these two pieces. I think I like that. I got these others out because I thought maybe we'd put something on this side. We would need to make a pocket. And I think I have some of these papers. Do I want to do that? Do I want it to be a pieced paper on top of it? Or would it be better to use maybe one solid? And I say solid, I mean maybe a page out of a scrapbook paper that's all one print, so it similar to the way this one was defined from the page. Or do we want to piece it together? I have some scrapbook paper over here. Another thing I could do is I have some of these little tear-off notepads that I could just glue one. Although that one just kind of blends right into the page, doesn't it? I don't know. I have to think. That's probably the reason why this particular project was put to the side, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. Well, you know what? I have this that I made a long time ago. And if I cut it, yeah, you're not going to see the whole piece. Why don't I cut a pocket out of this mixed media paper? This is transforming undesirable papers. So I'm going to trim this to be, I might as well do a 3-inch pocket because that's what we did on the other side. So I'm going to make a 3-inch strip and put that in my pile. And then I'm going to make this 5 1/4. And 5 1/4 again. I got a little piece left over. Who knows? I may find a place to use that. Let's go ahead and I'll add some distress inks and we'll stitch around this one as well. I feel like I want to do different things because I did not go back and review what I did in 2019. I just was grabbing the things that I already had and then started piling them up. I did fussy cut a few things because I found the parent sheet that had not been cut up yet. It gives me the opportunity to use up the things I already have. I'm trying not to make new things that are going to be left in my stash. I'm instead trying to use what's in my stash to complete the project. Like these pockets, you know, made out of the mixed media papers that I've had in my stash. I should have glued the piece of paper to the back side, but we'll do that after the fact. Okay. Did I distress these? I don't remember. I probably should. Oh, did you see my new nails? I did those yesterday in the pinks. Added a little bit of glitter to them and butterflies. Oh, that's okay, Julie. I know them ads. That's part of the how we get to use YouTube. Thank you. All right, I'll glue this down. And then we'll find some embellishments that we could put on these. Smooth it out. I keep forgetting to put things away. Ah, thank you, Jennifer. I used two different stamping ink colors. There's a lighter pink and a darker pink. It may be harder to see, but there's a lighter pink over here with this darker pink over the top of it. I saw a sample that someone else had done using two shades of a color, and I thought, okay, what can I do? I got a new set of polishes, I don't know, 3 months ago, and I haven't really used all of it yet. Tried the colors, I mean. So I thought, well, I'll try some of the colors that are in that new set. And I thought this pale pink as the base would allow for the stamping to show through. Okay, I'm just getting that glue to spread. And let's trim these. Trim this side as well. Okay. Saving the scraps in case I need them for something else. All right. Trim the corners and then we can glue these down. I feel like I want to pull out all my rubber stamps and make things. All right. Put this back in here. Put the blocks over here. So we'll glue these down. I need to add some distress inks to the cards, and I should do it to the pockets as well. So before I glue these down, I'll grab the Distress ink. Okay. Okay. I say okay a lot, apparently. That's my filler word. Okay, this one. I think what I'll do is I'll look in my ephemera pouches for something to put on here as well. All right, so we're going to put one here. And then we've got to figure out what we want to put in the pockets. Oh, I forgot one of the corners. Sides. Okay. All right, don't want to go over too far. Glue it down. Tardy to the party, Margie's in the house. You stamp labels, then stamp other smaller stamps on the edges to decorate, and then fussy cut them. That's good. It comes in handy to, get out all your stamps that you have, and can you use them as embellishments or stamp journal cards. You can do it as you make the journal, or you can do them ahead of time if they're pretty generic and you just like that look. Okay, so we had some square cards that I thought would look good in here. So I think what I want to do is, should we change these colors? Hey, why not? I'm going to put them in the spray box. I haven't really been making mop-up papers lately, so let me put some gloves on. Oh, my fingers are already dirty. I think I need to clean my hands a little bit. Oh, well, that was good. I just got hand sanitizer everywhere. I guess it was clogged. All right, I gotta get another card out. We'll save that for another day. Clean my hands off. Okay, that's better. These are kind of watercolor weight paper. Put some gloves on because I'm going to use some Tattered Angels. I don't know what color. Probably, what do we want? Do we want a teal behind there, or maybe a pink? Let's see what we got here. Purple, green, orange, red. This one's a pale pink. That's a brown. It's a different shade of pink. We may do a couple of shades of pink here. Let's see how this sprays. That's what I figured. I have to swap out the... I need to clean these. Let's see if it'll go now. All right. It's not the color I really want. And I don't think this one is either. I'm just kind of cleaning the tip with some water. I have a little spray bottle of water here. Let's see if that clears it out. No. Okay. I have a lot of red, but I guess I've used up a lot of my pinks. I don't know if I'm going to like this color. That figures. Apparently, I need to spend some time going through all of my tattered angels and cleaning the sprayers. Let's see if this one will work. This one's got a pink shimmer to it. All right. I'm done with that. Gonna clean those up. So I have two tasks. I need to tear apart under my desk and find my rubber stamp that fell off, and then clean up my nozzles and all my tattered angels. I'm glad you're here, Margie. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, nice. So you did it with the like I did with the herbs. You made stamped roses and flower stamps, and then cut them out like little panels. Yeah, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Just not you need to do some projects too, Margie. We just gotta have energy. Well, I feel for you. I was talking to my neighbor, and she's been feeling poorly, and I said, well, you might need to go see a doctor and have them check you out. I'm just drying the tattered angels that's on here. Now, what do I want to stamp? I think I may get out either a floral. I'm going to take my gloves off here. I've got some text stamps. What do I have here? Oh, I have this, it's kind of a florally stamp, and I think what I could do is if I stamp it with a lilac over this color or the Concord. So that color or that color. I think I'll go with the lilac. All right, so I'm going to have to stand up. The one thing about having a small stamp pad, you have to go all over the stamp. All right, I think what I want to do is stand up and then position this in the middle and stamp that down. Oh yeah, that's kind of pretty. Just a subtle pattern. That's why I wanted to go with a little bit lighter color. And then we can add some things to it. Thing I could do is maybe we should sew a piece of fabric if I can find something that I feel goes with. All right, put the lilac back. And then I'm going to clean my stamp off. A little bit of water. You know, while I've got this out, where's this one? Oh, that didn't do what I thought it was going to do. Oh well. I added some texture to that one piece that got covered in the hand sanitizer. Okay. Put this away. Okay, let's do this. I wonder if I should round the corners. I didn't on the others. I think it'll be fine. Okay, this goes over here. So let's look. What do I want to put on here? We've got sayings. These aren't sewing themed, but we could put lavender in the corner. Oh yeah, I was going to do fabric, wasn't I? I said fabric. Let's see what we've got here. I've got a little piece here. Okay, let's cut. I changed my mind. I can do that. It's my prerogative. You like that? Using the layers, the tattered angels and the stamp on top. Okay, I've got this little piece of fabric. So I was just thinking of cutting a little piece and then attaching it across the top here. And I saw some lace over here. Where was that? Here we go. All right, so do I want to make this a short piece? Do I want it to go this way? So I can squish it up a little bit? I don't know. Trying to decide what I want to do. I think I'm just going to cut a little piece. All right. Something like that. And then I'll stitch on here and we can add a sentiment or something to it. Okay. There. Put the fabric back in the fabric stash. Put the lace in the lace stash. All right, so I'm going to glue, not glue, just stitch. It's old lace I've had for a really long time. Oh, I forgot to do the back sides with the distress ink. Okay. Well, thank you. That's okay. I understand. You just, we just kind of keep doing what we're doing, right? All right. So I'm trying to layer this up here so it's across this top corner. Yeah. Let's do it this way. There. And we'll do it again. So lay that here. And then lay this one. There we go. Well, I appreciate it. Just keep trying is all we can do, right? Let's see. What do I have? I have, you could put dream. I have 2 of those. Let's just do that. I was trying to see if there's something else. We'll do that for now. Okay. And we need something to put on the pocket. Just want to get out my things real fast. Let's glue this down. Yeah, I'll put it over the stitching. It'll have a little bit more stability behind it. Yeah, that works. So I want something to go on the pockets. Oh, I have labels. And let's look at oh, I have these. These are like picture frames. I saw 2 of them. So what if I were to put them in the middle? I was going to do these other labels, but I think I'm going to do those. These were picture frames from Beeline Designs. They're rubber stamped images, and I stamped them in different colored ink and then fussy cut them out. I think that's what I'm going to do. All right. Glue this down. I think right in the middle. All right, we got 2 pages done, or 1 page technically for each journal. Put this here. All right. Colorful. And then this side is the Sew Artsy paper. Nice. All right. Put this over here. Ooh. And let's go to these papers. So let's grab 2 more. So maybe that one. And let's do these 2 for this one. So I'm going to glue that on the back side. I think I want to turn this over so that we have the butterflies going upright. Mass make! That's what I'm doing. Trying to make 2 journals, Margie. Yeah, you weren't here at the beginning, but I had some Sew Artsy pieces left over from 2019. Here we are in 2026, so y'all do the math. That's been a while. And At first, I was only going to do one journal, but then I started seeing that I had enough supplies. Oh, I just saw that this page is smaller than I thought it was. So, I think I'm going to have to make some modifications here. I think I can get away with trimming that off. So I'm going to have to let that glue dry or find a paper towel. Let's get one. So I can wipe away the glue and then go to the paper cutter and I'll cut off this excess. But I don't want to get glue on my cutter. All right. So before I glue this one down, let's make sure it's the same way. It doesn't really matter too much which way I put it. So I'm going to put it towards one side. That way I'm just trimming. I guess I was using some book pages and they were not quite 8.5 by 11 when I was making these pages. I think these were pages I made during a retreat. Okay, which corner did I decide? I think that corner. Okay. This works out. Okay. I forgot to do that on the other one, so we'll get this one over here and smooth it out. This was back when Norella would put the shading in the middle, and I started telling her to stop doing that, at least on mine, because I didn't always use that as a page. I may want to cut it up and use portions of it, and then that shading kind of detracts from what I was trying to do. So she quit doing that on mine. Occasionally she would forget. All right. All right, we got those trimmed down. Get rid of the scraps. You have stuff from last century. Well, I do too. I do too. Okay. Let that dry a little bit. Trying to get some of these slivers off. Okay. So this page isn't going to be as wide as some of the others, but that's okay. Well, now this one's not going to fold. Come on. There we go. So, do we want to put pockets in here or just glue down some writing space? You know, I have a whole basket of notebook papers, or these little drawing, or what do you call these? Notepads. And I could glue those on and we wouldn't have to have a pocket on that page anyway. And then what color is this? Purple? I have a blue here. What if I cut a blue piece of cardstock to make a pocket? I have this paper that's got little floral embossed leaves. I guess it's leaves. So what I could do is make a pocket out of the dark blue and then make 2 journal cards out of this bright blue and then glue those on the other side. And that'll be using up some of my stuff. So, looks like this has been trimmed before. We did a 3-inch pocket before. So I guess, keeping to that, let's do another 3-inch pocket. And then these need to be narrower. So should I just make them 5 inches? Just in case? Let's do that. So, cut that at 5. Cut this one at 5. And I know y'all can't see the embossing probably on camera. I could, let me try something. I cut this, wait, before I do that. What is this? 12 inches. Let's just cut 6 inches. And we'll have 2 journal cards that'll go in there. Collecting is a hobby, right? We're a hobby collector of supplies. I think she's been busy raising her sons. I sent a message to her a while back and I haven't talked to her in a while, so I need to send her another message. All right, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try putting a little ink pad. I may ruin it. Oh, come on. No, you can kind of see the pattern better now. All right, I'll do it again. I'm committed to it now. I'm doing the edges. All right. I am using Distress Oxide. I should probably water reactivate this, but I don't want it to spread. Okay, that didn't come off good. Let's do this one. I think that'll be good. Let me get another book page. Books? You have so many books? Yeah, I have a lot of books. You have more crafts than paper crafts? Yeah. Counted cross stitch, password canvas, sewing, crochet, and many more. Well, I'm trying to go through mine and get rid of what I'm not going to use anytime soon, if ever. And it's been hard because I've collected these items over the years, spent money on it, and I'm like, I can't seem to let it go. I was watching somebody that was kind of doing a decluttering video, and they said, ask yourself this when you have the item in front of you. Have you used it in the last year? Does it cost less than or more than $20 if you would replace it? So if you got rid of it and then the next day you're like, oh man, I need that back again, but it only cost you $3, just go buy another one. And I guess the other is, does it, how fast can you get the replacement? So if you can get a new one the same day or the next day for $3, get rid of it. So I just can't do it though. Because like this punch, although I may not have used it in the last year, I did a couple of days ago. You know, I used it in one of the live streams just a couple of weeks ago. So I hadn't used it in a while, but now I did. And if I were to replace that, I couldn't find one. I'd have to go hunt on eBay for somebody that just so happened to be selling their punch set. So I can't get rid of that. You know, therein lies the problem. I may not use all of these things all the time, but I do use them quite frequently. So I guess it just kind of depends. I've been trying to get rid of the things that, you know, I have near me. I know that I use them, and if they're outside of this area, I have to look at it and decide, okay, do I keep that? For example, I have wire for wire wrapping and making jewelry, and I hadn't used it in a while. And then the other day I was like, oh, I have that wire. So I went to that drawer, I pulled it out, I used the wire, and then when I was done, I put it back. Should I have gotten rid of that? Probably, because I hadn't used it in a long time. But am I glad I didn't? Yeah. You'll keep what you have and not replace anything. I get it. Your crochet hooks are the ones you've learned on and were your grandmother's. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to get rid of those. You know, the yarn, on the other hand, if you've got, you know, partial skeins or little balls of yarn and there's not enough there to do a project, well, you either need to put it together with other yarn and make a project and do it, or let it go. And that's kind of what I'm, you know, trying to do right now is I'm separating things like the fabric that you saw in that bag. I had found all these scraps that were in a couple of different places. And so I put them all in that one zipper bag, and I've been trying to reach in that bag and use it to make stuff. Yeah, as soon as you get rid of it, you need it, right? John kept saying it wouldn't fit everything, and you need to get rid of the crafts because it won't fit. Says, yes, it will. Trust me. Just trust the process, as they say. All right, so I'm going to put this one over here. And then if I put this in here, that'll be good. Oh, let's look at the fabric again. What else do I have here? I could cut a little piece of this, and I saw some more labels. I don't know which way's the right way. I guess it would be this way. This one's got a mess up on it. So I was thinking of just cutting a little piece of fabric a little bit bigger than the label, and then I just put that down. I'm going to rip it so it has that frayed edge. Put it in this corner, and then put this down. So it kind of gives us that scrappy look. What do you think? Yeah, you've proven him wrong when he said it's not going to fit. And you're like, yes, trust me, it's going to fit. It's going to fit. You cannot get rid of it. It will fit. Margie says, I live in an 80 by 16 trailer. The room can be made easiest was to get rid of the man. Since he is out, I have lots more room. Just get rid of the man. I know I tell my husband, I said, what I should do is make our master bedroom my craft room, and my craft room our master bedroom, because we don't really need all this space for sleeping. He didn't like that idea. All right, so I need to glue this down. It should glue with the Aleene's tacky glue. Okay. Put this down. Okay. All right. I think I saw... Oh, look, I have a little button. And should I put that on there too? I could punch holes in it and then put some thread through the button. Okay. All right. Ah, come on. Stick down. Since I hadn't glued the pockets in place, it'd be easier. You didn't get rid of the single bed? We do technically have a guest bedroom, although I haven't let anybody stay in there in a long time because people. All right, do I want to put thread or see if I have a small piece of ribbon? Oh, I have some yarn. Why not? It's in here. Okay, I just need a needle. They're always on the bottom, it seems like. Okay, so first I'm going to thread the yarn. Okay, pull that through. Come on. I didn't make my tail long enough. There it goes. All right, I think I need to fold out the flaps, and I want to put this, well, what I should do is put a couple drops of glue so it doesn't move around on me. And then I can position it where I want. And then sew the button on. Okay, where's my foam? I'm going to lay this on here and poke through here. Okay, and then I'll do this one. Oh, wait. Oh, you used a single bed for your floors? Okay, gotcha. Glad you're back, Jennifer. Oh, I see. Yeah, so Margie says her extra bed in the spare bedroom is covered with extra stuff that she will need later. Ours are currently covered with our luggage that we take on cruises. And what I do when I get back from a cruise, I wash everything and then put it back around my luggage. I may not actually pack it all the way, but I'll put it with my luggage so that all I have to do is, you know, the weeks before we leave is I'll go through all of that and decide, do I want to take that thing or this other thing? Do I want to put a bow? I don't know if I left enough. Tail, we'll try. Come on. Gonna give me a fit today, are you? I think that'll work. All right, where's my good scissors? That looks good. All right, let's do that again. Pop-up bed. There you go. Under it is another bed. Oh, so you have a what do they call those? A trundle? I think that's what that's called, is a trundle. I stayed with a friend once years ago that had one of those. It was weird. Because we were sleeping side by side, but not. All right. And I used up this thread or yarn that was in my stash. It was random. I'm like, I need to use it. And it keeps that eclectic color palette that we're using here. Okay, well, I'm going to leave that on there for now because who knows, I may come back to it and use it again. Let's glue these into our journal. You really should get rid of some stuff, but no energy. I get it. I guess if you have a good friend, you have them come over and you just point. Yes, start in that corner. I guess that's what I need to do. Jennifer, you want to come over and I'll just point at stuff and see, do you want any of that? When we should be probably doing the same thing in yours. Oh dear. Jennifer, I have a bunch of card making and scrapbook. I don't know if I got rid of them, but I had a bunch of scrapbook magazines and I haven't looked at them in a long time. I used to look at them quite frequently. I would get them out and flip through them. But now I just use Pinterest for ideas. So I need to go through all of those. I know there's a couple that I want to keep because I was published in them. So I just want to keep it because, you know, it's my stuff. If you're interested, okay. Jennifer says sure. She just, I don't know what she said sure to, whether it was the magazines or coming to my craft room. Yeah, a trundle. Yes, okay, it is a trundle. Okay, let's put the fabric up for a second. Although I just saw, I don't know, I may want to cut that piece out. I like this blue, and I may put a little piece on the blue cardstock. Okay. Put that back over here. Glue this one down. And I think I'm going to go ahead and glue this on the page just as it is. We may add some other embellishments, but it'll be glued down. I sure with a star asterisk. Gotcha. No energy to make the decisions. Well, someone's gonna make the decisions for you someday, Margie. Maybe you don't care. That's fine. That's what's probably gonna happen to me. Henry's gonna say on Facebook or whatever, whenever I pass, and say, "She's dead. Come get this stuff." Otherwise, you'll just have to get a big dumpster, start shoving it in there. I hate for it to go to waste. Okay. Put the pocket on the page. Then I'll have to come over there to do yours. I can see how this is going to work out. Oh, dear. I'm going to say, do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this? All right, I'll let you have some time to take it to your house and put it in your stash, and then I'll come over and you'll say, do you want this? Do you want this? We got to be brutal. Get rid of stuff. But like I said, I'm trying to use up as much as I can. I just know that I'm not going to live long enough to use all this stuff. I've already had some of it for 30 years. Joe Margie says, I won't care. I'll be gone. All right, Margie. Well, make sure you send me what is it? So you have to send an email to me at the event of your death that says, I have died. Please come to my home and go through this stuff. We'll have to do that with each other, right? Say, okay, if I die before you got to come over and deal with this. I have a friend, Angela, and I'm also friends with her husband. In fact, I became friends with him before I met her. And she says to her husband, now remember, if I die before you don't just throw this stuff away. You call Linda. Oh, no. Julie says she keeps finding yet holes in the tops and Laylor Park. What is that? Is that a laundry service? They could be old. I know that there was one of my favorite tops, and I got it out, and I was looking at it really close. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's brittled with holes. I didn't even notice it. It has on the neckline a whole bunch of it's not rhinestones, or studs. So it pokes through the fabric, and then it had little claws on the backside, and it closed it onto the fabric. Well, I got to looking really close because it's black, that behind all those studs, the fabric is so worn that it's starting to rip. So there was little bitty holes around each of those studs. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm still wearing this. Okay, I got these two pieces, and I saw this fabric here. Let me get my good scissors. So I was just going to cut a little piece, kind of like we did earlier. This will be easier. I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. Okay, so I've got this piece and this piece. And I could get another piece of that lace. Ooh, I like that piece too. Isn't that pretty? Oh, why didn't I use that one? I've got the same lace that we used earlier. So I'll cut a piece of it. Put that at the top. What's our time? 5:30? I only got technically 4 pages done today. This is going to take me a couple weeks. Y'all okay with that? I guess it doesn't matter. It's what I'm going to do. Your keyboard be crazy? Okay, I keep finding... Okay. My kid can deal with it like I had to when she was a kid and stuff all over the floor in her bedroom. Okay, let me repeat that. Margie says, my kid can deal with it like I had to when she was a kid and stuff all over her floor in her bedroom. Jennifer says, I have told them to call you to value everything and or look for the note I left inside the container. Oh, gotcha. That was a suburb you moved from. Gotcha. Well, I hope you don't have moths, is the other thing I was going to say. And your cat keeps yelling at you and bumping me. She's wanting your attention today. Let's go to the sewing machine real fast. Well, Henry came to the house just a little bit before my live stream. I guess it was about 3:30. He came in and got Dante. I guess I hit a button. My stitches had changed. Stitches. That's funny. I had to pick up after you when you were a teenager, so therefore you got to pick up after me. Okay. There we go. Now we probably should put something on. I'm trying to see if I had another little image. I have a butterfly. I had some others in here too. Let's see. Ooh, I've got these pink ones. So what if I were to glue those on there? I think that would look good. Because then we got the butterflies back here too. I don't know. I'm a butterfly person. I left the inside of the antennae. A friend of mine, Beverly, she did this on all of hers. She would fussy cut them, but leave that portion until she was ready to place it so that she didn't break off any of the butterfly antennae. So I'm going to do the same thing. I like it. There we go. Do this one. No moss, silverfish, or cockroaches here. That's good. Brand spanking new building. Well, that's good. As long as nobody brings any with them from their old house. We have a really old building that we use for our embroidery. And I think Henry the other day, I heard him smack something. And I thought I heard him say silverfish. I was like, oh, great. Okay. Oh, I saw the word soar. Not in hurt, as in fly. How do you spell my shoulders are sore? Is that spelled different than the word soar? S-O-A-R? Is that spelled differently? I had to think about it. You're surprised I can't hear Cuppy purring and meowing? She's like, pay attention to me. It's all about me. I'll put it down low. Put it right here. Hurt to soar. Okay, S-O-R-E. There you go. I was like, I had to think about that. What is that? Didn't you spell that differently? I'm not hurt. I'm soaring like I'm flying. That's right. Okay, that's what I thought, Margie. See, sometimes I doubt myself. Okay, I like it. I know not every page has got a bunch of the embellishments, but I think we're doing pretty good. What time is it? 4:27. All right, so let's do... These are going to be simple because it's the same paper. I'm just going to look for some mop-up papers real fast. I've got a pink here. Here's another one. Let's just do those. We're keeping it in the same colors. Oh, there's more than one page here. More than one? Okay, so flip this over. And I'm going to glue this to this one. Another thing I could do is I could stitch around the outside edge of this piece so it would have some stitching on it. So I'm trying to line this up here. Oh, come on. There we go. Smooth that out. Don't trust your own spelling. I am bad about that. I don't always trust what I'm, I know what I want to say. And I guess if I used voice to text and it understood the context in which I was trying to speak, it would probably pick the right spelling. The English language, isn't it ridiculous how the same, even in some instances, the same word, let's for example, BASS, and here it could mean a fish, or it could mean a, what is it called? A lower pitch guitar. I was trying to say it without saying it. I need... wipe up some of the glue. Like there and there. Yeah, exactly. You're. You are. There's all sorts of words. It's crazy. All right, so do I want to stitch around this outside edge? We've got a little bit of time where I could do that. Oh, and I have... oh, I could make this into some kind of pocket piece. These are rubber stamped images. So maybe I can find a little piece to put this with, and we'll have a pop of color to be a tuck spot. I don't know. But I think I do want to go ahead and stitch around the outside edge. Weather and weather. There's so many. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start on this. Okay, I think it's time to get something to drink. I'm listening to 80s on 8 from Sirius XM. And I don't know his name because I haven't paid attention to it, but there's a DJ during this time frame. And I just feel like he does not fit the vibe. His voice is so annoying. And he's talking right now. And I'm like, dude. He was saying that The phrase groovy is something that people would say, but that is not of his era. And then he was like, I could do rad and awesome, but I don't like saying those words. Like, whatever, dude. Ah. I think the stitching gives us a nice little look to this. Oh, you know what we haven't done is I have a pattern piece. We could use that to make a pocket. So we'll need to do that on one of these. Maybe I can do it here with the pattern piece on the pattern paper. There we go. Yeah, in 50 years, all words that sound alike are different will be acceptable in whichever way a person uses it. Yeah, exactly. These kids today, they use emojis, so they don't know how to speak. They don't know words. They know pictures. It's bad enough that men have a tendency to just grunt. Whatever. Now we're teaching this youth to use emojis, pictures. Almost there. I think I'm going to work on this again next week for sure. I like where we're headed here. I just haven't decided if I want to make a special cover, kind of like we did the last few weeks, where I either made it out of fabric or I made it out of other papers that I collaged together to make a new cover. I'll have to look at what supplies I want to use that will go with this. Okay, we got that. Yeah, you hear in your schools they don't get taught enough spelling and writing skills. They aren't doing that anywhere. Yeah, it's not just where you are. Okay, so I need to put something on this side. I'm looking here real fast. Oh, you know, I've got a few of these, and they can be rather simple, but I know I have some rubber stamps. Let's see here. I've got this one, and we could stamp the butterflies. Since we've been using the butterflies in other areas, that's what I'm thinking. I think I want this one instead. All right, so I think what I want to do is put a piece of paper behind here. Make sure I've got this right side up, and I did not, really. I looked. So I'm going to stamp the text kind of in the corner here. And I'm okay if it's not perfect. And then this is going to go over it. And I could use a little piece of string or fabric. I'm making sure I have it right side up. Okay. Put this back up here. And just so I know where the center is, I'm going to go ahead and fold my page over. And then I'm going to stamp the butterflies. Do we want them at the top? Yeah, we'll just do it at the top. Yeah, I like it. Okay. Now let's do this one the same way. Yeah, this one is from Stampers Anonymous, and this one is from Viva Las Vegas Stamps. I've had it for a long time. Okay. Got that done. Put that back up here for now. I'm trying to decide if I want to try to add a texture. Oh, I know what I can do. Where is it? I haven't used it today. It's the Henna Rose stamp. So my thinking was I would stamp it. Let's see if I can get this. Oh, cool. So now it's got the little rose on there. Yeah, okay. I just saw that I had this out. So I could take a piece of this, and do I want to just put it on and then maybe find a little flower to put right there in the center? I think so. Okay. So I'm going to glue this down. And then I'll glue the tie together here in a moment. Smooth that out. Okay. Put a little drop of glue there. Okay. Let me slide this aside. And now let's do this the same way. I just want a little crossover. I know I ended up covering up that rose, but I know it's there. Okay. Put this back over here. Oh, I'll roll this over the top for a second. Okay. You love it? Okay, good. You like this page? Oh, good. Okay. I think what I need, though, is my stamp block so I could put a little bit of glue on here for a moment. Yeah, I need a little more here. Okay, so now I'm going to get some flowers. I guess we can do a pink. I have I have some purple, but I think I'll go with these pink ones. Kind of have this burgundy color. These are little. I could put 1 or 2 on there. Let's get another one. Yeah, let's do that. So I'll do one of those and one of those. Well, good grief, I can't put the lid back on. Oh, thank you, Julie. That's why I made them, because I didn't want them to be super thick. And I think I'll put a dollop of glue there. How much time we got? Henry will be home soon. Come on, stick. All right, so I'm going to set this to the side over here and put my block on it and do this one, and I'll do the same thing. Apparently I don't have enough glue on there yet, so we'll let it sit. Come here. Over to the side here. Get another block. I could come back and put some tulip dimensional glue. I'm not finished with that page, but I want that to set up. And while that's setting up, I was thinking of making a pocket. I had a little piece of where is it? There it is. Of pattern paper. It's not really that pretty because we're not going to use very much of it, so I think I'm not going to use that for this one. I do have 2 pieces of book page that I could position on here and maybe layer some scraps. I could put a piece of fabric down. Why don't I do that? I think I keep hitting my sewing machine and it's turning the stitches off of what I had it on. Do I want to use the same fabric that I've been using? Because I've got some strips of those. That's probably the better idea. So I have this one that I could use. Or I have, there's a bigger piece here. This piece I could use. So which one is it? I have some leopard print. I have some green. Which one? I'm looking at all the fabrics again in case there's one that kind of stands out that I think would be better. I guess because we are making 2 different journals, we can do 2 different ones. So I'm going to cut this to be just slightly bigger than the pattern piece. One of each. Yeah. And then I'm going to cut this the same size. Okay. The book page is just there to give it some body. That's all. It's not that I'm trying to make that visible. But I think what I may do is I want to trim down a little bit of that paper. And I think what I'll do is if I make this a pocket, do I want it to load from this way or from this way? And I'm thinking from this way. And what I can do is fold this in and fold this in this way to give it more strength. And then fold the bottom up. Yeah, okay. I'm going to use some Fabri-Tac glue because I'm going to stitch the fabric to the paper. And I don't want it to move around too much. Okay, so I'm going to position this just within the text so that when I fold the edges, okay. Now let's glue this one and we'll stitch it. Got it. I'm doing it. One of each. Basically, I'm just cleaning off the nozzle of my glue. Has a little goober. Do the same thing here. All right, let's go to the sewing machine. There we go. All right, we're on zigzag stitch. That'll make a nice little pocket. And we'll make it a side-loading pocket. And I'm using the scraps that I already had. I'm concentrating. I'm trying to figure out what else to say to y'all today. Uh-oh. We must have had a power glitch because my power just went out and came back on. Y'all still with me? I hope. I don't even know if y'all are still with me. I hope so. What is going on? Am I hitting something? The power button is here. Something's going on with my machine. Okay, I'm looking. Okay, I hear and see you. All right, I'm still with it. Oh my goodness. Oh, y'all join the raffle for some junk bucks. Like y'all need any more junk bucks, but I have them. It's a silly thing. All right. So now what I was going to do is fold this over and then see, I'm just making that a little bit stronger. I don't know if what I want to do is to trim off. Probably should. Just trim this. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and glue this. Oh, I guess I'm not. Look there, I kind of made a self-tab. I was going to use that as the edge, but I think that works out good. Okay. Change of plans. We're going to use those edge pieces for the actual pocket. Why not? Okay, so then I need to cut this shorter, cut a diagonal, cut diagonal, cut diagonal, trim that. So hopefully I can now add these as pockets after I glue this on there. And I guess I could go either way. I can go this way or we can go that way. I think that's what I'm going to do, is make the pockets open this way. But I want to put some distress inks on there and then let's glue them down. And I'm going to end today with at least putting one of these down if I don't get both of them. We'll just do one for now. Alright. I'm just going to grab one of these pages. Apparently not this one because it's not, the glue hasn't set up yet. Good grief, come on. That one's set up. Alright, this one is just going to take a little more time. There. We'll put that one there. So if I have this be a pocket this way or a pocket this way, I think I'm going to do it this way so it won't fall out of the journal. I could have made it one more layer. This is not too fragile of a book page. I want to put it right in the middle. Let's put it right in the middle. And I don't know how big that is. We'll have to measure it next time. And I'll make a journal card to fit inside. And then we got fabric. So we're going to put this on there. Yeah, I should have used the acetate glue. I don't know what I was thinking. Because of the lace. So the Aleene's tacky glue isn't sticking to the lace. It did on this first one because I had just the right amount apparently and it was able to dry. I like it. I can go ahead and at least glue this down. It worked out too because this one I made more a brighter pink than I did this other one. So I think it works out that we're putting these on two different patterns. Okay, well, I think next week I'm just going to continue on, make it a part 2. And if you have some feedback about if I should make a fabric cover to hold each journal individually, kind of like the wrap ones I made a couple weeks ago, or should I make a oversized cover kind of like I did 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now, 3 weeks ago. The wrap would have been at least 5 weeks ago. But I like the color. I may have some cards already. I don't know if I have 2. I have 1. Oh, I have 2. I think this will fit. Oh, I think we got to do that. Okay. I think that's good. We'll end up embellishing the card, and we kind of embellished the inside of these. I don't know what else I want to put on there yet. I may add some rhinestones, and then we'll figure out something to go on the back. Yeah, thanks a lot for being here this week, everybody. I greatly appreciate that. You would love to see me make an oversized journal, as in large journal. So you mean like when I went back to the big journals, like this size? This size, as opposed to this size. So this one is, what is that? That's 11.5 by 8. And this one is 5.5, 5.75 by 9. Large page journal. Okay. That may be something I can do with the next project, because I have a bunch of what was it called? It was the Rose kit. I forgot the name of it all. Bella Rose. The Bella Rose kit. I have a whole bunch of pre-printed two-sided pages, and I've been trying to figure out how I can use those. And I'm thinking that I can use an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, half sheet, and then put this on top of it with the long sheet going this way. Let me get one that's not too garish. Oh, I had it, and then... So, for example, if I had a large page, this could be pasted on top of it. It could be a pocket or a flip out, and that's your larger journal. Okay. 11.5 by 8. I got you. Okay. Well, that's maybe something I can do with the next project. You bought the kids' scrapbooks for the pages and large journals. Oh, nice. Well, I think that's what we'll do. We'll finish this up next week, and then I'll start pulling things to make a large journal like this big one that I have here. And I think I made it this size because of the paper I had for the cover. I even have a journal inside a journal. I haven't looked at this in a while. Like, this is it's a very simple journal that can be made with just a few supplies to put in a bigger journal or whatever. And this one just had smaller pieces throughout. Oh yeah, and then I made the this size journal. This was a composition notebook that I just pasted other pages inside of it. So I had a lot bigger one. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll see what I can come up with. I appreciate that. Let me check something. Did y'all... All right, we had 2 people that signed up for the junk box. Let me pick a winner. And then thank y'all for being here. Let me know in the comments what you liked about today. Suggestions for other projects. I think the next series is going to be using up stuff and making an extra large journal. I think that's what I like that idea. So we can get this other journal all the way. Let me pick a winner. All right, so Jennifer, you won 200 junk bucks. I'll get that added to your account. Thanks for being here, Sheila. I just saw you come in. Yeah, I hope you'll go back and rewatch the replay. And again, thank you everybody for being here. I greatly appreciate your support and hanging out with me and your encouragement. And I hope that I've given you some encouragement to get in there. I had this since 2019. I've got stuff that I've had for more than 20 years that I'm trying to use up. And I hope you're inspired to use up yours as well. Let's see, what else? Let's be kind to everybody. You never know what someone's going through out there, and just a little bit of kindness goes a long ways and can really make a difference to somebody else. And just have grace and kindness, because, again, you don't know what they're going through. My husband, I got on to him this weekend. He got mad at somebody. I said, just don't. Just don't. It does no good. It could make them madder, and then they'll come and do something to us. So just don't. Thank you all for being here. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you have an amazing week. Do something fun, do something creative, and let your light shine and be a kindness in this world that everybody can enjoy. All right, everybody. Lots of love. Bye.